Welcome everyone to Forgery as an Art Form, another episode in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC review and analysis. We have with me close personal friend of the channel and all-time greatest of all time, James Dalton Bell, the Doctor. Please say hello.
Hello. Greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time of greatest of all times.
Yeah,
okay,
yep. I'll take that. Alright.
So, there's a little bit of background. With the Pokemon that we're featuring in this one originally included Chiyu, the fish Beads of Ruin.
Yeah.
So, we've replaced it with the Gen 1 Pokemon. But by the time this video has come out, another video with a Gen 1 Pokemon has come out, so that doesn't seem weird. I think the Pokemon that we are featuring instead, Arcanine, is I think one of the very dominant mons so far in early VGC, which is not surprising. It's been a really significant mon in every format where Incineroar hasn't had Intimidate. So like even when Incin was first out, Arcanine was a big dog because Fire type is really good in VGC. Access to Heat Wave, it's got really strong Flare Blitzers, it's got Recovery with Morning Sun. Intimidate is obviously a really solid ability, and ever since Fairy type came out, it's been a really important check to Fairies, especially as in Gen 6. Pixelate hadn't been nerfed yet, so it was very, very strong. But now, it's mostly just been, an Intimidate spammer. I think it's got quite like the array of moves. And then the other mons we're looking at are Tinkaton and Grafaiai, which were your suggestions.
Which were my two picks. You said who do you want to talk about? And I said that weird monkey with the snotty paint finger, and Tinkaton. Because why wouldn't you like it? Steel Fairy. It's got a big old hammer.
Broken Steel Fairy. 160 base power stat move. You know, that must be good.
Yeah. Tinkaton hammer. Excellent.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that's how it is. Arcanine is currently the third most used Pokemon. And the first most used Pokemon is Fluttermane, so it's technically the second most used Pokemon. And yeah, we've seen people spamming, I suppose we'll probably get to the first one. So the first one is Grafaiai, which is, I just realized I didn't type that fully. It's supposed to say Artists Do Encores. I'm just going to...
didn't even notice. I don't have edit permission.
I fixed it on live on the set. Yeah, so Artists Do Encores. Grafaiai has Prankster. It has kind of mediocre stats. It's like, I think 110 speed and, is it 85 attack or something? It's not...
95 actually.
95, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was a 5 on the end. It's not
great,
super impressive.
You don't hate it.
It also doesn't have access to Fake Out, which is another one of the things which is gonna...
it's definitely a bummer.
It's gonna leave it competing against a number of other Prankster options. Sableye is the one that comes most specifically to mind. So I think that is definitely something which is not in its favor. But it has access to this really wide array of moves that it can take advantage of in with Prankster. So one of the main ones it's been using is Parting Shot. People have been using it for a meme comp where they doodle next to Slacking, so that Slacking loses Truant. And you can, the great thing about you doing that with Slacking as opposed to Regigigas is that you can use Slacking turn 1 and then only need to doodle turn 2, so it is not as weak to Fake Out. But it is like obviously weak to like a turn 2 Fake Out or being taunted and what have you. This Pokemon is a really good taunt user. It's a really good weather changer, specifically for rain and sun. So I've seen people use it with the Terra Pokemon when they were still allowed, the Photosynthesis ones.
Yeah, the Scarlet ones, right?
Yeah.
Or no, the Violet ones are the
Violet are electric terrain. Scarlet is.
Oh, yeah, I got it backwards. I don't.
You got it right the first time, actually.
Gotcha. We got there in the end.
Yeah, so this mon's been used with basically anything. One of the main things that it does when it is not clicking a Prankster move is Knock Off or Super Fang as disruption. Apparently people have been using Rain Dance with it a lot.
I believe Foul Play also as another option. I mean, it's not... you're not getting a stab like you do with your dark type pranksters.
Foul Play has 1% usage on a mon that has 3% usage, so it's not been using Foul Play a lot, but it does have access to it. It has Gunk Shot, which is good. Like, that's its main stab. It lacks a good normal stab, but it has Terra Blast, so it can just use that.
Terra Blast is okay, right?
I mean,
I was double checking how the mechanics of Terra Blast works.
It's a physical move because its attack is good. It's got 80 special attack. Its bulk is really not great. It's 63, 65, 72. But I think that you're mostly looking for the disruption, or to try and do like a more melee offensive set. One of the main benefits, for something like Doodle is that you can use Taunt or Encore, or Swagger is another one that has been used, and stuff like that to stop your opponent from being able to... Sorry, my brain is dying. You can use those moves to mitigate the ability of your opponent to attack against the Slacking or Flutter Mane or whatever, effectively.
Yeah. And I mean, it's got all the, I mean, not literally all, but basically all the good prankster moves that one might want, and it manages to also be like respectably fast, so that it can.
It doesn't have Fake Tears, but it does have access to Acid Spray, which is one thing where its speed comes in relevant. And also, Super Fang is functionally identical to Fake Tears the first time.
That's a good point. I never really thought about it like that, but yeah, totally. It does get Leer, which is nice.
Leer is pretty good. It's more of, I think, a draft sort of move, but it's not terrible by any means.
Well, I mean, that's where my brain's been since mid 2020 when I started doing this whole draft thing.
Flatter is interesting, as is Swagger, in terms of like doing it to a partner. So theoretically, you could Swagger a Garganacl because it has Purifying Salt, and then it gets +2 attack. Downside there is that 85% accuracy, but Flatter is +1 special attack. It's, I think, better as a move to try and confuse an opposing Pokemon, but getting +1 special attack is still usable in more niche situations. Parting Shot is pretty decent disruption in terms of lowering opposing Pokemon stats. That said, I think it's kind of anti-synergistic on Prankster Pokemon, because...
Parting Shot specifically?
Yeah, or switch moves that are priority, because like Baton Pass as well.
Yeah, I follow, because and you're bringing something in to
take a hit, which is kind of like the opposite of why it worked kind of on Pangoro, kind of on Solali, but why it worked especially well on Incineroar was because you were mitigating damage, you weren't taking a whole lot of damage, and then the opposing Pokemon coming in was not taking any. So it doesn't really have that.
Your doubles version of Clefairy and Clefable teleport in singles and all that nonsense.
Look, don't forget, Cosmoem got championship points with just teleport and cosmic power.
Well, I mean, I think that's just proof that the tournament structure isn't perfect, right?
No, it's proof that the permanent structure is perfect, isn't it?
Well, from a certain point of view, the Jedi are evil.
I mean, that was just Groudon was good, and it turns out having a Pokemon with Levitate means that you have like an answer to Groudon, even if the answer is memes. I thought that as a restricted, Cosmog was very funny, or Cosmog, one of whichever one it was.
Whichever one, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Grafaiai, let's
talk about this Hammer Girl.
Interesting options. So now we have Tinkaton, Hammer and Tongs. Blacksmithing.
Broken typing.
Broken typing. It has access to Fake Out, which relatively few Gen 9 Pokemon have access to Fake Out. I think the Mousehole video has probably come out before this, and that's a Pokemon that seems like it would have Fake Out, but doesn't. But Tinkaton does have Fake Out, and it honestly kind of seems like a Mon that would, also kind of like a Mon that wouldn't. But yeah, one of the selling points about it is that despite its 75 base attack, it has Gigaton Hammer, which is a 160 base power steel move. But it can't be used twice in a row, but that's fine, because you want to click Protect in VGC anyways. You know, let's go with that.
I certainly want to click Protect. It's my favorite move in the whole game.
You're like triple protecting, quadruple protecting. It's like,
don't bring up triple protects.
It's like, who needs like imprison or like a reversing trick room or phasing or taunt or whatever to stop trick room when you can just get 5 protects in a row on both slots?
I'm sure it's happened once.
I'm sure it's happened against me once.
I'm sure you triple protected.
No. This is why I stopped playing Trick Room. This is why I stopped drafting Trick Room. But yeah, so Tinkaton Hammer is an interesting move. It has access to Play Rough. Its special attack stat is decent, so I think theoretically you could use that as well. I think it has access to Sword Stance. Its speed at 94 is pretty solid, though I think this kind of, the speed tier in this format is a bit centralized around just over 100.
Yeah, there's a lot of 100 and just over 100.
Yeah,
even though 94 like is a totally respectable speed stat,
being slower than Arcanine sucks as well, because Arcanine, like I said, it's a very significant one in the current format, and it's 1 point slower. Right? I think Arcanine's base 95.
Yep,
we'll look at it in a second. It's good that this mon resists extreme speed, so it can take Dragonite. Okay, not amazingly well, but its bulk is decent. But it's better on the special side.
Yeah, I mean its great typing is really carrying it in terms of its defensive, like its ability to just like stick around and be, actually get second Tinkaton Hammer.
If it had Intimidate like Mawile did, it would be better than like regular Mawile, just always, even without Tinkaton Hammer. But instead it has Mold Breaker, Own Tempo, and I think something else.
Pickpocket.
Pickpocket is a very dumb ability. It has synergy with what item? What item comes to mind for you when you think of Pickpocket synergy?
I have literally never used Pickpocket, so I don't even have an item that comes in. Oh.
Yeah, when they break your sash, you steal their item. I remember.
You steal their focus sash. Gotcha.
Yeah. No. When your focus sash breaks, you steal the item that they had when they broke your focus sash.
And in a world of perfect comedic timing, that item is a focus sash.
That would be heartbreaking. I remember it being like Gen 7 Pinch Berries a bunch of times. With like Weavile stealing a Pinch Berry. That was very funny. But yeah. Apparently people like to use this Pokemon with Tailwind a lot. All with Dragapult. Yeah, they like to use it with setup Pokemon. I've seen Baxcal and Volcarona. Basically always Tinkaton Hammer, Fake Out, and Play Rough. Sometimes Protect, sometimes Knock Off, sometimes Helping Hand, sometimes Feint. Feint's actually a pretty good move. Rock Slide's interesting. Apparently people are using Terra Blast. They'll be using Thunder Wave. But it has Ice Hammer. That's the They used to be Carbonable's signature move.
Yeah, it gets Ice Hammer, and I think
isn't that like 90% accurate? Apparently Terra Water with this
lowers their speed as well. I think doesn't it get another 100% chance to lower. Rock Tomb and Skitter Smack. I was thinking
Ice Hammer lowers the user's speed.
Oh, it's the user speed. I was thinking of I had Trailblaze in my head anyway on Grafaiai, which is also the user speed, but regardless.
Yeah, but that increases the user speed. Ice Hammer drops the user speed. Like Hammer On.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But Trailblaze is a speed boost. It would be really bad if it was a speed drop. But yeah, so Tinkaton, Hammer and Tongs. It's an interesting mon. I think it's a mon that you do have to account for. It's got 4% usage, which is, in light of the fact that a lot of the usage is currently soaked up by Paradox mons and Ruins as they slowly phase out of the tier. It's something that's worth considering and getting an idea of what sets it run. But I think the main thing is that it's one of the more dominant Fake Out users in the format right now. So, onto our last mon, and this mon is, like I said, the third most used mon and the second most used legal mon right now. Ninetales, the boys are back. I also was considering going with a Bahamian joke, but I don't know.
With a what joke? A Bahamian?
Yeah, so someone from the Bahamas is Bahamian, and then the band, gotcha. the Baha Men, is meant to be Bahamian, like Bahamian.
I never knew that.
I'm pretty sure that's it, because I know it's Bahamians.
Yes, I have heard Bahamian as someone from the Bahamas.
Someone said called them the Baha Men to me once, and I was confused a bit. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, you know. But yeah, so this mon is a really good Snarl bot. It's got access to Wisp, Flare Blitz, Extreme Speed, Heat Wave, Flamethrower. This mon just runs everything. Everything under the morning sun, you know.
Yeah, all the good.
And apparently,
all the good Arcanine stuff you've come to know and love for
despite
years and years.
24% usage, it's not terrored enough that it's got Terra usage inputs, despite the fact that Tinkaton did. It's Terra Water alongside its dual stabs. People like using this with Grimmsnarl a lot, which is not surprising at all, and with Amoonguss. It's all just damage mitigation. There are some absolutely insane... What's it called? I'm completely forgetting the word. Runaway conditions in the current meta, so and especially in the Paradox era meta.
A lot of snowball.
Yeah, it's a lot of snowballing, a lot of runaway conditions, so putting this as part of a team of multiple disruptors, in this case we're using Tinkaton and Grafaiai as those disruptors, or potentially as their abusers. I don't know what your build is. But yeah, so a big abuser that people have been using it. Paradox Mons, Dragonite, Swords Dance Scizor, Nasty Plot, Rotom, stuff like that. And that's really, I think, one of the spookiest things in the meta right now. Arcanine is definitely a mon to keep an eye on. So, do you have any last minute comments about Arcanine?
I've loved it for years. I will continue to love him for forever. And
forever?
Arcanine would really have to do something terrible to me for me to no longer love him. I think it would have to be personal, so that seems unlikely.
Okay. Like, you know, get Protect spam through your entire Trick Room. Did you bring Trick Room?
We'll see.
We'll see. Well, I've sent you the challenge. It's, oh my god, not the Paldea and Tauros. Not the Bombardier. Not the flying type spam.
Yeah, I thought we'd give a try to some other of these new weirdos also.
That's the water one, not the fire one. That's interesting. Most have been seeing the fire one. Yeah.
Well, not everybody's on my level.
Oh, I guess we already have a fire type as well. That's probably the actual reason.
That is the actual reason.
So what do you think about my team so far?
Alright, what do we got? We've got the cat starter.
Yep.
DD Dragavolt.
DD Dragavolt, eh?
Interesting stuff. That's male in DD.
That is male in DD.
I feel like you don't want me to use Prankster and Takeout. How dare you?
You know, there might be something a little bit more behind this thought than you might be thinking.
I wouldn't be surprised. This will literally be the first Gen 9 battle
VGC
I have
game.
played.
Luckily, I've played many in a row.
of any kind. I'm still on that Gen 8 brain. Daddy Plan Part 3 tournament.
Daddy Plan Part 3. Oh, is that still running?
I'm 1-0 right now. Yep.
I looked at it, but some of those Pokemon just seems so much better than all of the other Pokemon. It didn't seem like there were enough high-tier Pokemon for people to get.
Yeah, there's some silly nonsense, that's for sure.
I've got a very specific combination in mind. Also, I built my entire team around not wanting to lose to Talonflame. That's why I have Dragon Ball. it's the entire reason I have Dragon Ball, is I don't want to lose to Talonflame.
Well, I brought 2 other birds, so...
Yes, but they don't have Gale Wings, so...
That's true, they don't have
It's a different thing. So this is the combo that I had in mind. It's got Unburden.
Interesting. Of course. It does have Unburden. Making it very fast.
And not very strong. Wow, that did not do that much. Rest in peace, my Ndidi.
What do we knock off? Scarf?
Indeed we did.
Oh.
You may have noticed that it went before your Grafaiai.
It went before my Grafaiai, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
It also has Poison Touch. I actually think the Unburden set's interesting. It's pretty interesting.
I agree.
Oh no, not the Intimidate.
I do like this new Tauros. I think he's a very cool guy. I did one calc.
Oh, you did one calc? That's cheating.
And it was not... It is totally irrelevant right now. So.
I have done 0 calcs, I'm sorry to say.
No need to apologize.
I'm apologizing to the audience more so, but... Alright, do I connect? I do connect. It does not KO. I kind of expected that to KO, to be honest. Yo! Guessing you doubled it? With the play rough, too.
It doubled.
Notably, the aggro did not do a whole lot.
Yeah, it did, what, like 6%? 14%? I was basically right the first time.
Basically.
Alright, so did you bring Protean this time, or is it Overgrow again?
That's a very interesting question to ask. I am pretty firmly in the back right now.
Dang, it's so beefy.
Which mon? Grafaiai?
No, Tinkaton.
Tinkaton. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's like crazy good. Alright, so we did bring Protean.
I did bring Protean. I think that just tells you I don't have a dark move, you know? Okay, yeah. Grafaiai.
Still live.
So I think Grafaiai might not be very good.
I think...
Sorry, the Acro Grafaiai, I mean.
Yeah, it was also at 50%. It got double intimidated also.
Yeah.
And it was...
I mean, it's hellbolt by Tinkaton, which is a major problem. Especially given that I knew Tinkaton was coming. I probably should have done something. I don't know what.
Let's see. Do we live another one? I don't think we live another one.
No, not quite, I don't think. Hey, look at that. I now can die to E-Speed. Leftovers, eh?
Yeah, that was part of my one calculation, actually.
Oh my. Very interesting. I mean, I think I know what you're clicking.
I suspect you do.
Yeah. Oh no, you do have the E-Speed. I was joking. I didn't think you actually had E-Speed.
Oh.
So I have E-Speed on mine. It's a Talonflame counter.
Ah, well, I didn't bring Talonflame. I brought different birds. I wonder if these birds are good.
The Talonflame scares me. I don't know. I think I probably should have brought setup so that my Tinkaton made sense. Maybe like a sword stance on Grafaiai or something.
That's interesting. Does it get sword stance?
Yes, and nasty block.
Oh, it gets both.
It's on the list.
That's cool. What you got for me this time?
I am currently very much struggling on picking the last mon. Not the Kilowattrel. So I think I know exactly what item that Kilowattrel is.
You know what item it is?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm taking from that I don't know what item it is.
I don't know if you know what item it is.
I think it's Covert Cloak.
That was not a trickiness.
Do you know Covert Cloak?
I do know Covert Cloak.
Okay, that's what I expected it to be. And the fact that you aren't sure that I know what it is makes me think that it's not Covert Cloak, which is surprising, because I would have expected it to be. I don't like Tinkaton very much. Yours is living forever, and mine's not doing anything.
Is not Mold Breaker. And mine is...
What's its other abilities? Own Tempo? Wait, why you clear Amulet and Own Tempo? Ah, for Grafaiai.
Yeah, yes. And let's see if I can make something interesting happen.
The crit. Please no burn.
Sad. Give me a burn. Darn. Oh no, don't kill my electric bird. I wanted to hit you with a super strong...
My Arcanine is dying.
Electric attack.
I don't like
Why
this.
do you think that?
Your team is very physically oriented.
Well, Intimidate is not good now because of the amulet. I mean, that's a little reductive. It's still good.
It's a perspective that you have. And it's a perspective which is currently, you know, it's currently cutting the mustard. Jet. I can certainly say I didn't expect you to jet there. You know that you're in Tailwind, right?
I totally forgot, actually.
I forgot to... Oh, no, I didn't. There was a reason I didn't run that. But... Oh my god, that Okos. It's a strong guy.
Should this have been a video about how good Water-type Tauros is instead?
That can be the next one. That Hydro Pump miss is very painful.
Yeah, it makes me not as sad about the Will-O-Wisp miss though, because now I know it's special.
I Hydro Pumped you last game.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
Oh, great.
Yep, you totally
the Tinkaton also didn't notice, from what I remember.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, well, I think this is game over. Do I connect this time, at least? Oh my god.
Dang.
Okay.
Well, luck is a skill.
Luck is a skill that you specifically have.
Hey. Everybody's lucky some of the time.
I don't feel like I've ever been lucky. You have one Pokemon.
That is true. I clicked my Pokemon. I don't know why it was taking so long.
Okay. It's like,
I don't know what's going on.
You're like, Shadow Ball. I mean, I don't think I beat this Tinkaton. But I have an out. And the out is just dodging.
Misses?
Yeah. I just need to be half as lucky as you are. These Hydro Pumps have been very painful. I can't lie. I don't think I've ever missed Hydro Pumps so many times. I regret not having Indeedee on this team. I considered it instead of Meowscarada. I think it might have lived. Oh my gosh, I finally hit one!
Oh, hey!
It only took 7 years. Well, you know, James, I think you might just be a better player than I am.
Ooh, somebody clip that one.
I think I said it before. You know, I am not known for my modesty when it comes to building up my rivals and compatriots.
Well, do you want to play the third battle?
Oh, sure. I forfeited it, but we can play the we can play the third one as well. Well,
okay. Yeah.
You know, we probably won't do the best of 7 like I might have done in another one. You know, where we had the 4th game for all the marbles. But you know, okay. Game 3 for real this time, though.
no idea if this Pokemon is good. Kilowatt Roll felt underwhelming, but that's...
Did it? It said Tailwind, and
it said Tailwind.
I used like all of the decision, or all of the moves I had to commit against it, right?
Yeah, which, I mean, sometimes that's what you want, right? You want your Tailwind setter to die, but I really wanted to try out the wind power thing. You know, Terra Electric after getting a charge.
Oh, Terra Electric, like, That's a big
blast
reveal.
Something, right? It's not that big of a reveal. Besides, I'm not bringing it this match.
Okay.
I want to try the other bird.
So I'm guessing that your Grafaiai is the Sash one.
It's interesting that you think that.
Well, it could be Bombardier, I suppose. Kilowattrel didn't reveal a Sash. Oh, own tempo. Yeah, that makes sense. Dude, I'm Terra. I'm Terra the wrong type. Okay, so it's not Sash. Did you just not like have a Sasha?
No, the Sash was the Kilowatt Roll.
Oh, okay, well Sash. It's just too bulky
Sash
for it. Certainly would not have concluded that it was Sash based on the information given.
Take a hit.
I hope it's... Oh, I guess I should have doubled the Bombardier.
Getting at least 4 hits. Give me the 5th one.
Oh my god, the 5th one crit! The 5th one crit! This is bullshit!
Oh, we take those, baby!
It seems to me like you take those very often, and I don't get to take them very much.
I'd rather be lucky than good.
And yet you seem to be a bit of both.
You killed my Tinkaton.
Yes. Yo, the Tauros lost! Do I have an out? I might have an out.
I don't know if you have an... How much longer does this Psychic Terrain last?
2 more turns?
So many more turns.
I also don't know why you care about the Psychic Terrain. Does it have Sucker?
It does have Sucker Punch. Of course it has Sucker Punch.
I am not familiar with Bombardier's moveset whatsoever. But it's still, like, slower than Tinkaton, which was the main concern.
Well that's the other... So that's the other thing.
That is the other thing. So ultimately, I think that Indeedee was good, but Grafaiai was not very good. Scarf Indeedee is strong. So Kilowattrel was Sash, it just didn't take any damage.
It took a damage, but not enough to OHKO it. Yeah, but yeah.
It took 60% from Flare Blast. That's pretty good out, you know.
It is pretty beefy, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
You take this.
No, I ran Extreme Speed with Dragapult specifically. But back when I had Chi-Yu, I had Lucario with Extreme Speed. Specifically so that I could stop Talonflame setting up Tailwind.
I never had Talonflame on that version either. I had Tinkaton, Grafaiai, Chi-Yu, and Tauros Water.
Okay.
And then I had Scovillain for a bit. I had
Scovillain is spicy.
Kilowattrel for a bit on that version of it. There was another Pokemon.
Your Tinkaton was pretty fast, right?
No, it was no speed.
Sorry, not fast, bulky. It was not very fast.
Yeah.
Your Bombardier was also slower than my Tinkaton, which...
Max HP.
I don't know what Bombardier's speed stat is. Is it slower than Tinkaton naturally? Yes. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it goes up to 147. Mine was max speed adamant.
Okay. I was max speed, max attack Tinkaton. Because Sash. Obviously yours was living a lot of hits, so... I think I hadn't really looked at its bulk in an appreciative light before I was looking at it here. But Tinkaton's bulk is pretty good. I think it's definitely especially tankier than Mawile. I think it's less physically tanky than Intimidate Mawile, but more physically tanky. Oh no, I think it might even be more physically tanky than Intimidate Mawile, because the massive disparity in their HP stats. But certainly if someone's clear body or their clear amulet. Clear amulet was funny. Yeah, I didn't think about her in tempo. What's the other ability it has? Pickpocket, that's right.
Pickpocket and Molebreaker, yeah.
Yeah, the Terra Fire Arcanine was really strong as well.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, even Terra game one.
I know, I realized that on the last turn. I was like, never Terra'd.
Could have Terra'd watered the... Wait, was it Terra Water or fighting on the Tauros?
Water.
Water, yeah.
To boost the Aqua Jet one. And then he went and brought Psychic Terrain. When
I saw it had Unburden, I wanted to try it, but its Unburden does not live up to opposing Intimidate at all.
Yeah. So Extreme Speed on Arcanine, not fake out, but prank Scary Face on Grafaiai.
Yeah.
Fake out on Tinkaton and Aqua Jet on Tauros. 4 priority moves.
Right.
And you brought stinking Psychic Terrain.
So alright guys, I thank you for watching. I do think Indeedee is pretty interesting. I'll probably do an analysis. Obviously you guys leave a comment down below about any Pokemon that you want us to check out in the future. Leave a comment if there's anything that you want me to go over with James in the future. And obviously leave a comment if there's anything that you thought that we didn't explore with Tinkaton or Grafaiai. Obviously besides Grafaiai's Prankster set, which I shut down in one of the games, and you didn't bring it, the only game I didn't bring Indeedee. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Anything last from you, James?
No, thanks for having me. It's fun to do. I like this premise. I think it's a cool idea, and
it's been a lot of fun so far.
I'll come back and I'll do another team with you.
Awesome. So thank you guys for watching.